Day 14. Good morning. I slept like the dead. It's 6 a.m. I went to bed around 6 p.m. So that's another 12-hour night, but I feel pretty good this morning. Man, I needed that. It's not super freezing outside. It's probably in the upper 50s. Whoa. Some other couple came by last night and they're camped right over there, which actually made me feel more comfortable because, it gives the Grizzly options. Now I have to 50% chance of living, so, that did make me more comfortable. Thank you. All right, so we're headed to Benchmark Wilderness today. That's the name of the camp or whatnot that I'm going to try to hitch out of. There's a lake by there that people go and hang out at, so I'm hoping that the traffic to the lake will get me to Augusta, I believe is the town I'm trying to hitch to. I might actually spend the night there and then come back tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't remember Augusta. I don't know if I went there last time. Oh, I don't know how expensive it is. I'd like to get a room. I haven't had a shower in 2 weeks. So, I'd like to, take care of that because I am pretty itchy. There's that whole thing where, like, when I'm trying to go to sleep, there's an itchy phase that sometimes lasts 10 minutes, sometimes an hour, man, where I just got to, keep getting up and finding appropriate sticks that are long enough to scratch my back and whatnot. This is my back scratching stick from last night. Look at that, nice cook on it. Yeah, it doesn't need to be long, but I just need a little zoom. You get that extra inch. Yeah. I was thinking I need to bring a back scratcher with me, but I don't want to carry that because it's it's not the weight, it's the fact that it's a foot long rod. Like, where do I store it? And there's plenty of twigs around it, I just get up in there. But, the dirtier I get, the longer the itchy phase lasts. Eventually it subsides and, like, you're just like, okay, I'm done being itchy. And then you can go to sleep. But you got to wait for that phase, man. It's frustrating. I don't want to tear my skin open. I've done that in the past. Get a little itchy and just get a little aggressive with that and just scratch right through my flesh. I'm itchy just thinking about it. All right, so it's easier to hitch earlier in the day, or maybe not, because people be going home later in the day because they're going to the lake, huh? Yeah, okay, I like that, because I'm not going to get there as early as I thought. I was planning on taking off around, like 4-ish, or maybe 5, and now I won't be leaving here until about 7, maybe 7:30, excuse me. But I needed to sleep. I've been doing a lot of damage to my body. It's got to heal up. Ankle doesn't hurt real bad right now. And if we're only doing like 8-ish miles today, that should be pretty good for it, man. All right, let's drink some coffee. Look at that mess. So I lay my garbage bag out to put my backpack on at night, so it goes over there in the corner. And I don't know, maybe they're attracted to the plastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I see. These guys are on the run. Look at their little legs. You got no grip on this. Actually, I'll put you somewhere where I won't step on you. Makes sense. Oops. Okay. All right, and we're off. I'm wearing my shoes around my neck so I don't drop them in the water. I know the water is very cold because the 2 hikers that got here after me also left before me. They just took off and they made some noises while they crossed. Great way to start your day, though, huh? Sure was nice sleeping in. Man, my neck cracked, all sorts of stuff this morning. It's nice. It's not much water, though. So there's that, 30 steps, because, there's small steps when you're walking in water. My water shoes are pretty great. They could be better, but they're pretty great. They do not do much for the cold, I'll tell you that. It was like the ground was stealing the heat from my feet all morning. But my shoes are drier than they were, so I don't want to get them wet. I'm even going to wear new dry socks with them to help. Ooh, yeah, that is cold. To help wick the moisture out. I got some really thick socks I haven't worn yet. Ooh, oh yeah, I got them for free when I bought this sweater I'm wearing there. Oh, I'm not sure what to call it. It's sweater fucking. Yeah, That hurts. That it's cold enough to cause pain. Yes, but we're almost there. Don't slip and fall. That would be horrible. It'll really wreck my day. This stuff's all, covered in algae and stuff, so. Oh, we're almost there. It hurts. It hurts a lot. Oh, it still hurts. The pain isn't going away. Oh, yeah. I'm going to sit on this rock for a minute and cry. I do declare the safetiest of meetings. Ooh, oh, it's beautiful back there. Look, there's sunshine. Just not on me. Well, that was really uncomfortable, crappy, and my toes still hurt pretty good. But those thick socks, I think, were a good idea. Most of my feet feel better, not worse. I'm sure once I start hiking, everything will work out. Once I get around that bend and I start getting some sunshine, things will change. I have to stop for a wardrobe change and everything. One more toke and then we're out. A little stretching. Where'd I come in at? Do you guys remember? I just see a wall of bushes. But there is an opening somewhere. This looks mildly used, doesn't it? Nope, that's not a trail. Let's head back this way. Is that a trail? No. Didn't I squeeze through these bushes? Oh, this looks well used. Oh, okay. Well, it was easier to find than I thought. I thought I squeezed through bushes. All right. I'm all looking for a hidden passage. Hey guys, thanks for taking the water off of everything. That was really cool of you. Okay. Oh, this is so much better of an exit than last time I was here, because last time I was here I climbed that thing and then went 9.6 miles that way. Oh, such a dummy. It's a big day in my life though. Breaking the 40-mile barrier is pretty big for me. I mean, there's people out there that do way more in a day. But 40 miles for me is huge. Makes you feel like a freaking superhero or something. I know I'd personally like to be badass enough to do 40 miles right now. But I am so not even close to being there. Okay, guessing somewhere between 6 and 8 miles to the benchmark. That's what the place is called, Benchmark, like Wildlife Lodge or something. Benchmark. For whatever reason, I can't remember their name. Had trouble with it last time I was here too. My feet are still waking up or thawing out. Not quite working right. Look at all the cool prints we got going on. I don't even know what some of these are. You got bunny and I don't even know. Bird maybe? All sorts of weird shapes going on in the mud. Oh, and from here on out, we have no map of the area. I can see my dots on Guthook. So I have relative location. I can see the topography. I know where Benchmark is. But if there's splits and trails, I'm totally going to be like just guessing. Just like, because you don't really know which way a trail leads. Just the direction it sets out in initially is not where a trail leads. Trails do what they want, man. So yeah, there's a high probability of getting lost today. Just saying. What have we here? Look at all this beauty. Some sad looking raspberries growing on the trail. Poor pathetic little things. Am I late in the season for them? Or early? I don't know. They look like they're peaked and they're shriveling, or they're still growing. Hard for me to tell. Today looks like a nice clear day, not a single cloud in sight. What? It would be nice to have several dry days. Had several wet days in a row. Things just don't work well when they're wet and or cold, and it's worse when they're both. Straps, buckles, fingers, all sorts of things just don't want to work as well when they're cold, and especially wet. Toes. Ah, the water has mellowed out. I like it much better now. Water is some noisy stuff. Falling from the sky, it's real loud. Like, I'm fairly certain when I was filming in my tent during the hailstorm that you could not hear the thunder over the hail. I could, but I doubt it showed up on camera because there's just so much noise. Freaking frozen water falling from the sky in the middle of summer. It's just, what? That happens? Where? Here, evidently. It's crazy, man. That's got an odd one. Alright, so we got some sort of rodent, big rodent, got little hands. Well, what are those? Just spikes in the ground. And a few of them. Dog prints, maybe? Oh, yeah, it's a rabbit's back foot. Yeah, that's what I bet that is. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter sunshine. I have a shadow. Good morning. Yeah. I feel it already. It wasn't a really cold morning. Really grateful for that. But still pretty chilly. Oh, I was like, what's that soft thing I just stepped on? Whose poop is this? That's a horse. Well, so much for keeping my feet dry. There's enough moisture on this vegetation to strip me of that. Didn't even rain last night. I'm guessing, it's just dew. A lot of it. But the grasses are short, so it's only the shoes and the cuffs of my pants. Opposed to yesterday, it was all the way up my hips. And occasionally up to my shoulders. See how many little drops are on that one little leaf? They actually look really cool in the sunlight, prismatic. They won't show up on camera, I know it, but like that little one right there. As I walk by, they just shoot off a little rainbow. Just those tiny little droplets all catching the light. Pretty cool. Lots of mud on the trail today. Lots. Luckily, it's like a completely different color than the trail. So just sidestep. Yeah, oh, got a little bit of mud there. That's cool. Mud beats blowdowns. Ooh, that got a little deep. I believe we have bobcat there and there. Or small cat. There's another one. So many tracks in the mud. Most of them rodent and rabbit. Oh, there's a deer. But the bobcat or lynx or not lynx. Lynx are big, aren't they? Well, they're not big, but they're around bobcat size, right? Like 30-ish pounds. We are way up there. It's a possibility. Seeing kitties in the wild. Doesn't happen often. And they never ever let you scritch them behind the ears. Never. Yeah, those are great prints, man. He started hopping when he got in the mud because he doesn't like it on his feet. And hopped out as soon as he could. Cats. No matter how big they are, they're still cats. I am really curious how they'd respond to laser pointers. Like a big cat came out of the brush and was looking at you and you broke out a laser pointer, started shining on the ground in front of it. Would it go for the laser pointer? I think there's a chance it would. You ever seen big cats in cardboard boxes? They do the same thing house cats do. They try to squeeze inside impossibly small cardboard boxes for their size. It's a cat thing. Which is weird because you don't find cardboard boxes in nature. They're just like, let me fit into this thing. There's been plenty of water along the way. I'm technically following Straight Creek, I think it's called. But, you know, it's way down there. You can get to it if you're desperate. But I prefer the water that comes to me. I don't need any yet, but in another mile or 2 or 3, stop for a break and filter. Or wait till I get to the ranch benchmark. And I hear there's a creek there. We're back to the river again. This has been quite a nice stroll. Probably about 4 or 5 miles into it, maybe. Hard to tell. Technically, Benchmark is just right on the other side of this hill, but I think the trail runs all the way around the hill and comes back, is what I'm guessing. That's cool. Keep it mellow. Okay, we've reached the road. We got signs. No bicycle. Okay, so I went 7 miles. Somebody stole the A. That's weird. It's straight cut out of there. Odd. Alright, let's see if we can find Benchmark. And then try to get a hitch out. That's a cool box on the back of that truck. And normal stuff. That is a very wrinkly map. The map itself is topographic. Water. Yeah, I could use a little water. Take a break too. Oh, hell yeah. I don't even have to filter. Oh, these are those hard style pumps. Where it's hard for one person to work it. Yeah, because you got to work it and hold the bottle at the same time. This one's a little different. We'll start pumping it and see what happens. Yeah, it was complicated. You pump, and the water comes out of that little hole right there and just, shoots in front of this little bowl. So you got to try to have your water bottle in front of that while pumping that the whole time. It was a workout. Let's go find this benchmark building, check out their hiker box, do a wardrobe change, safety meeting, you know, all the important stuff. Maybe have a peanut butter tortilla. It is 11 o'clock, which is pretty close to lunch. And then let's try hitching out. Oh, I was only at the campground. Benchmark is still at least a mile away. Got lots of clouds now. I don't know where they came from. But enough sun to charge my batteries. My batteries were even full yesterday. And we barely got any sun. I did not realize there was an airfield around here. Wonder why they're landing planes way out here. Runway 6000. We might as well read about Benchmark Airfield. Oh, it basically says it's for rich people to play around and every once in a while administration duties. Well, it does have a pooper. Benchmark will probably have a pooper too. Let's hope. I gotta go quiet yet. I did earlier, but you know, the feeling subsided. Guy's dancing the funky chicken. Strutting. Man, it is still at least a mile off. No cars have passed. Savage out my thumb. I don't need to go to Benchmark. Pass that right up. Anybody happens to be going to town. So I'll take Benchmark, the lake, or town, you know, whatever, as far as they're going. Sean and Bruce just dropped me off downtown. Awesome. Bruce watches my stuff. Hey, Bruce. Thanks for the ride, man. I really needed it. Okay, I have been to Augusta before. I remember this place. I think we stayed at a trailer park here or an RV park or something down the way. I remember this place was covered in seagulls. I don't see any seagulls now. All right, let's find somewhere to probably eat. That makes sense. Had me a nice bacon burger deluxe, filled me up. And I got a room at the Wagon Wheel. I got a room tonight, man. Yeah, $85, not bad. So I picked a guy up off the floor named Yaku. There we go. He's from South Africa. And he fell in love with me, it seems. He wants to make a movie with me. He wants to fly me out to South Africa and go on a long hike with me and film it. He claims he's got editors and a production crew and whatnot. So I gave him a number. I was like, you know, wouldn't that be weird to meet some guy from South Africa in a small mountain town in Montana and end up getting flown out there? Yeah, I'd try it. Hell, why not? So I gave him my info. We'll see what happens. I don't know shit about South Africa. Alright, so let's drop our shit off, get our room at the motel, and then we gotta go shopping. I gotta figure out my food situation first. Do a little math, see how many miles it really is. So I gotta actually do math this time. I'm taking a couple different colored lines. Good times. So this is like my third time being here, but this is my first time getting a room. This is an $85 room, not bad. I got 2 beds. It's not very big. Look at the space between the door and the bed. But, you know, I don't need 2 beds anyway, but they all come with 2 beds. Not a bad room at all. It's got a coffee maker, but I bring my own. A little fridge. I'm going to have a shower for the first time in, I don't know, 2.5 weeks since the truck stuff. Hey! They even left me a hard seltzer, ice cold too. What? I know that was not supposed to happen, but it did. I will take a Truly. I've never had a Truly, but I'm sure I will enjoy it. Nice. Alright, let's open up the window. A little air in here. Oh, crank style, these old things. Where's it? I think they're painted shut. Yeah, I don't want to break it. Privacy. Fuck yeah, okay, we're here. The shower was freaking made for giants. That's all the way up there. That's like chin height for me. Shower's all the way up there, man. That's got to be like, I don't know, 6'9", 6'10". Jeebus. Oh, there's people slowing up traffic. Whatever. Not every day. Okay, I'm all clean, showered up, did a little bit of laundry, just a little bit in the sink, some underwear, some socks, you know, fun stuff like that. I'm gonna go down and see if they got a hiker box here. I figure this is where all the hikers go, so there's a chance. And then we're gonna go shopping. So I went down to the bar, had myself a couple beers. I'd ask if they had a hiker box, which they did. I got a little bit of fuel out of it, but nothing much more. So I'm sitting there, there's a dude playing pool. And he looks me up and down, and he's like, skirt, because I'm my skirt. He's like, skirt, fanny pack, and rainbow shoes. He's like, you must have a huge dick. I was like, thanks for recognizing, brother. And we became fast friends after that. Like, appreciate you recognizing. Because I'm walking around Montana. Actually, last time I was here, I was dressed in rainbows, so this is actually way less gay than how I dressed last time. Last time Red had these little matching outfits when we do laundry, you know, we'd have his little unicorn outfit on, and he had rainbow socks and shit. I was like, dude, I will rock that stuff. I think he thought it would embarrass us on laundry day, so yeah, he found it funny, but it's hard to embarrass me. I do what I want, man. I don't really care what most people think. Some people, but most people, nah, not even a little bit. Okay, we were walking to the grocery store. I'm gonna get resupply for about 100-ish miles. Technically it's 120, but when I hit a certain road, I'm gonna hitch, get to the looking glass, hang out there for a little while, and then I'm pretty sure they still do it, but they slack pack, so they'll drive me back down there, and then I can slack pack from there and walk right back to their place. And then hopefully do it again at Two Medicine, where I hitch to Two Medicine and then walk back to the looking glass. So if everything goes well, I spend like 3 days there. And then after that, hitch back out to Two Medicine and start hiking from there. Kind of scared to go into Glacier, to be honest. Fucking bears, man. Fucking bears. That's where they're all at, because it's still cold. We need some more global warming. We can drive those bears right beyond the border. They can become a Canadian problem. Nothing against you, Canada, but, you know, you guys can have the fucking bears. I don't like always being on edge. Always got to look over my shoulder. I can't just sit there and relax. I got to play music or something, so I'm making some sort of noise. Because if one just comes wandering up the trail and sees you, it'll kick your ass. Just for surprising you. It's like, oh, I didn't expect a human to be there, and it'll fuck you up just for that. They're jerks like that. Fucking bears. All right, let's go shopping. Good morning, day 15 here in Augusta, Montana. I'm at the Wagons West Motel. I've stayed here twice before, but we stayed over in the RV park there, and I stayed there last time with Reds and Lucky and the Count. This place was covered in seagulls last time. I covered it. I haven't seen a single one yet. I'm about to go have myself a breakfast and then try to get back to the trail. That's not going to be easy. Now, there is a road that leads there, of course. That's how I got here. But how many people are going to the lake on a Monday? Like when we drove by there yesterday, there was like 3 people fishing at the lake. So it's not a heavy traffic kind of thing. So I'm just going to stand out there. Well, I'm going to walk to the far edge of town and start hitching there, because anybody going that direction is going that direction. But it's down a dirt road and whatnot. It's not going to be easy, but, you know, we're good at hitching. I went and said, hey, man, I got some insoles I need to cut. Can I borrow your scissors? Because nobody wants to let you borrow the scissors to trim your mustache. But to cut your insoles, they're totally cool with that. But yeah, I'm gonna go trim my mustache. A little long overdue. Okay, so Wagons West Motel, now Outlaw Woman Saloon, Outlaw Women Saloon, sorry. Great place, man. Really good value. I mean, 85 bucks for a room, that's not bad at all. They got breakfast there. There's really nowhere else to stay in this town. Unfortunately, it's as far out of town as you can get, like we are on the edge. So I have to walk all the way to the other side of town to start hitching because, I don't know where they're going right now. They could be going anywhere in here. So I got to get to a spot where I know that that's the only way you're going. So if you're going there, you're going my way. I'll stand there with my sign and all that. It'll work. It always does. Beautiful day. Hey, is that China wall? I don't know. Everything seems to look like it to me now, so probably not. But it does look huge and wall-like. Maybe that's just a common shape for mountains around here because I can actually see another one. So, yeah, that's just a common shape, but that's not it. That is not it. So I did pick up a new piece of gear. I wasn't going to do it because it's big and it's bulky. But I've been cold at night. So I grabbed it. It's a ground score. Hiker box. Oh, but it's just a big piece of blue foam, and it will serve me well. Oh, the kitty. Poor you. Get your taxidermy done. I guess that's the entirety of the town. It's not very big. It's even smaller than I remember. I thought there'd be more going on this way, but no, this is pretty much the end of it. It's just houses from here on out. So like a half-mile tops of stores. Probably less. Bean Lake. I didn't know that was the name of the lake. Bet it's shaped like a bean if I look at it on the map. I like it when things are aptly named. If it's not shaped like a bean, I will be mildly upset. It's gotta have good kidney shape. I like small town America. People wave to you when they drive by, when you're walking by their house. They ask you how you doing. Are you having a good morning? It's nice. The city, nobody makes eye contact. You're invisible because there's so many of you. So I was a bitch trimming my facial hair with those scissors. The only sharp part was way down in the V, and it was just hard to get the mustache hairs in there. Anything that wasn't way down in the V just got pushed out of the way. So I did kind of a hack job, but I should be able to drink coffee without dribbling on myself, and that was the main goal. Man, I hope there's some big trees out there. I'm walking in shadows right now, so this is great. But the little spots where there aren't shadow, I can feel that the sun is going to be intense today. Like, somewhere right around here. Yeah, I can feel that on my skin, that's for damn sure. And I don't see any trees out where I'm going to be standing, so... Yeah, it sucks, because I can't stand there with a sombrero on. People are way less likely to pick up a man with a big hat on. I don't even wear the buff. Makes you look scarier. Anything to get in your car. Okay, 2 little turns and my hitch begins. Well, this is my road I get to hitch on. It is not heavily trafficked, although I don't think anything in this town is actually heavily trafficked. I'll walk until I find maybe an area that's comfortable to hang out. There's no pullovers or anything here, so it just doesn't seem like a good place to hitch from. I think out on a dirt road would probably be better. I don't remember how long the road was paved until it turned to dirt. I'll just live in that tube. The hike is over. I found my forever home. It's a little wonky, but so am I. Oh, well, there's the dirt road. Okay, so anybody coming this way, unless they live right here immediately, is going where I'm going. Or at least much closer than I am right now. But I'm going to get down past the last turnoff just in case somebody comes out of one of these to go fishing or something. Every little advantage you can get, man. This is not going to be an easy hitch. Hey, there's something else that looks like the China wall. Enhance. It doesn't really show up on camera, does it? Well, it probably does, but that whole long thing right there. Yeah, I'm seeing walls all over the place. This stuff just erodes at a sheer face. Damn, okay, there's Scapegoat Mountain. At least that one I know now. So yeah, I'm way far away. I think I see one more turnoff up here I'm going to get past. Go by the Smoky the Bear danger, fire danger sign. Whew, not a shadow in sight. First car, he stopped and talked to me at least. But he's like, yeah, I got a bunch of tools in here. I'm sorry, I can't fit you. I was like, no, that's cool. I appreciate you stopping. Future home of benchmark wrestling. Yeah. I'm going to be a benchmark wrestler. Okay, fire danger today is high. Ooh. Evidently the sun is harder on the color green out here. Poor green. All the other colors are still there. Alright, so this is where I sit, right next to the sign. If I need to, I can stand behind it for a little bit of shade, but I have a tiny bit of cloud cover right now, so that's pretty cool. I'll take it. Okay. I guess let's have a safety meeting, because I've got nothing better to do. And I'm not going to wear my pack. Normally, when I'm hitching, I stand there with my pack on. My poles in my hands slightly split so you can tell there's two of them. So you don't think, oh no, he's got a big skinny gun. People are sketchy. But I need to look as much like a hiker as possible. But right now I think people know what's going on. So when they come by, the pack will be on the ground and that's good enough. But normally if I'm on a busy road, I just keep it on my back the whole time. Even if it takes me an hour to get the ride, I will generally have my bag on the whole time. At least I got some pretty scenery while I wait. Enhance. 360 views. That's a big one. Just mountains all around, man. Well, not all around. You can't see any in this direction. Just zoom past. Not a single mountain down here. Zoom, 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 zoom. And then we get back to the mountains. Car number 2, real cool guy, stopped, chatted for a while. He says he takes hikers down there all the time. He's like, that's the only real reason we go down there is to take you guys. It's like, well, that's pretty cool. But he's headed the wrong way. But he's like, somebody will come along and get you. I'm like, yeah, that's what the last guy said. Although I've only been here, 15 minutes. So, no big deal. I'm out here doing stretches and stuff. My ankle feels pretty good. It really needed the rest. It does feel a lot better. I mean, it's still a little sore, of course, because, that's the way things work. But when I was stretching it before, there was a level of pain to where I knew I wasn't building, I was breaking. Because, building muscles and strengthening, your tendons and all that hurts. It does. But there's a certain point that you've gone too far. And, you know, you've gone into where you're doing damage to yourself. And that's where I think I was. Well, that's where I know I was headed. Somebody will come along. It's bulky. It's not necessarily heavy because it's foam, but it's still heavy. You know, it's probably I don't know, maybe 2 pounds, I'd guess. I'm not good at that stuff. Fire would know exactly. He'd look at that and he'd tell me down to how many ounces the damn thing is, maybe even grams on some occasions. Dude's a Rain Man for weights. I am not, but I was like, oh man, it's more the size that gets me, but I am going to be so much more comfortable because I've been sleeping on just, I think it was 5 cells of one of them fold-up mats, so it got from like my lower back to my mid-thighs. You know, and so, you know, my puppies do keep me warmer, but they're not great. So, yeah, comfort. Just big. Number 3 and 4 both drove by, but both stopped to talk to me as well and tell me, no, I just live right up here, man, so I'm turning off or I'd grab you. Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, that's 100% of the people going either way have stopped to encourage me. You know, like to be like, no, dude, it's cool. You'll get a ride. Where else does that happen? Look at that lone tree. You are it, buddy. I really wish you were like right over here. I really do. I got nothing. I tried sitting in that shadow, but anywhere that's kind of comfortable to sit, the sun is hitting my head. And, you know, because there's a nice slope right there. So, you know, yeah, it sucks. Whatever. I can stand there. I can stand like right there, and then my head is in the shadow. But I'm just standing there, and then coming out of the bushes like, hey, I need a ride. I figure that looks creepier. So I'm just going to stand here and take my hat off whenever people come. I believe there's a fire going on somewhere. The sky in this direction is just dingy. I think I'm assuming that's smoke I'm seeing. You can only see it over here. Like from here on, it's normal colored skies. Normal color, but once you start about here, dingy, dirty skies. So I'm assuming we got ourselves a fire over here somewhere. Oh no, that big thing back there is the wall. It's way back there. I recognize that lump right there. You climb over that. And then you can climb up the wall a little bit and you get a great view of this whole big piece of the wall. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. You're just going to town on that flower. Oh, I didn't notice the other one over here. They blend in really well, don't they? He didn't stop to talk. He didn't even look at me. You got room in the bed of your truck. I don't have to sit next to you. Makes you willing to pay for this hitch. I'd give somebody like $20 for a ride there right now. I definitely would. Might even do 30. I've been here for an hour and 20 minutes at this point. About a dozen cars have gone by. They've stopped talking to me, but you know, they still wave back. Man, I hate waiting on a hitch. This one's a rough one. Not many people go down this road. I was happy to get this far, you know, get into town, but getting back out is gonna be a rough one. So here I sit. So that awesome group of guys is out here to do a little rafting and whatnot. They're going to use the CDT for a while. I told them about Straight Creek the way I took here because they're actually headed down south on the CDT and passing by that point. So give them some little pointers and whatnot. But they drove me all the way here. I actually remember this spot. I remember taking a break over there, with Red and Count and all of them, and other hikers showed up. We ended up partying, and it was good times. I totally remember this spot. But I am here. I am back. It is 12 o'clock. So we started that at like 9:20, I think. So yeah, it took a little while, but we are here now. I'm going to get my gear all sorted and go over there and sit down as well. Relax for a moment and then start walking. And you are in grizzly bear country. I did not know they were attracted to chainsaw oil. I learned something new. Yet again with the topographic maps. Look at that. There's some mountain ranges going on. I gotta cross those. Some deep ass valleys. Look at that one. You're getting sunlight for like 20 minutes in a day. Now those guys did mention, because they're headed south, but they're going to be taking rivers, but they did say Sun River was one of them they were taking. It would be interesting to run into those guys on the river while I'm hiking. Okay, it is a pretty mellow next 5 miles. There's water along the way, but I'm going to water in about 5 miles because it's such a mellow hike. Starts off slightly uphill, but there's not much. There's like 500 feet over 5 miles. That ain't bad. This is a suspension bridge made strong enough for horses. I'm assuming that's what the reinforcement in the center is all about. Oh, that's some good stuff. We are here. We are at the Bob. Not to be confused with Bob. There's many Bobs out there. No camping. Like, this looks like such a good camp area. 500 feet is pretty far. Yeah, there's all sorts of flat ground around here. Like, once you get up in the hill, you can start camping up there. All these horse prints are super fresh, like this morning. I wonder if their horses are faster than I am. I'd like to think they are, but a lot of times people are like on a little pleasure cruise. Maybe there'll be people to camp around. I feel safer when there's somebody around. Increases those odds that the grizzly will go for them opposed to me. Ran into a random hiker. He just got off the Spotted Bear, which is the trail I'm taking. It's the yellow line. And he says it's overgrown to eyeball level. Woo. But I don't think I'm physically able to carry the weight of the food that it would take to do the red line. Already it's like 120 miles. And then, take the red line, that adds on another like 25 or something. So that's a whole extra day or two for me. So I'm not busting out 20s and 25s yet. Taking a day off really did me good. We'll get closer to that 20-25 goal over the next, week. Got to be able to do the distances they make you do in Glacier, and some of the days we had to do were pretty big. But, got to see what route they choose for me, because it's pretty much the availability of campsites. Cross that bridge when we come to it. There's mud puddles everywhere. I wonder what makes this one so popular with the butterflies. Nice, we got a bridge. Well, sticks that don't look slippery. I'm also going to try to shorten this section up by about 20 miles. There is a major road in another 100 miles that leads straight into Glacier. So I'm thinking I'll hitch that because the Looking Glass does shuttles, so I could take a shuttle back down there and then slack pack the last 20 miles, spend the night at their place again, and hopefully slack pack to Medicine, stay at their place again. Might as well. It's nice and cheap, and they got a pizza oven and whatnot. Luna's cool as fuck. I don't remember her husband's name, but he was cool as fuck too. Their kids were even cool. Put on a play for us last time we were here. That's bold. I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't have the stones for that, to write a play and then put it on for a bunch of strangers. But yeah, so I wouldn't mind spending a few days there while still making like 20-ish miles a day. Without weight on my back. But if I have a weight on my back, I don't feel that bad right now. My pack going out is definitely heavier than coming in, but it doesn't feel all that much heavier. Although I'm not carrying a full load of water right now, so there's that. I gotta take that into account. But hopefully I have just enough food, not too much, not too little. I'm really bad at this so far. Done horrible this trail. Walking into town with a few extra pounds of food on my back. Not supposed to work like that, man. Just don't have my eating habits dialed in yet. Takes a minute. Thick clouds are starting to build up in all directions, but so far nothing appears threatening. Maybe whatever wants to peek over that hill. It looks a little aggressive, but nothing gray, no booms. Be nice to go a few days without rain. Be nice to go the rest of the trip without rain. What a nice little stroll. Look at this trail, so well maintained. Cruisy. I see lots of footprints on it. And a lot of them look like they're going in the direction I'm going. That one right there, most definitely. There's somebody right about my size. There's a couple dogs ahead of me. All sorts of people to take the good spots and have their horses poop in the not so great spots. And then I get what's left over. The joy of the hammock, though, if there is poo on the ground, I can hang above it. I don't want to. You can still smell it, and I still put some of my stuff on the ground. But at least I don't have to sleep on it. Oh, I'm going to sleep so good tonight. Comfy in my foam, in my hammock. Totally gonna be worth lugging around that extra pound or so. He's shy. Good luck finding them bugs. There have been tons of mud pits, but always a way around it. This one's a little more extreme. It gives us a whole different trail to avoid the muddy horse pit. Although I see shoe prints all over this, so the horses take this too. It is a land of just baby trees. An imprisonment of them. So you're just locked in. Once you're in the valley of the baby trees, you may never leave. I have gone through this before, not here, but on this trail. Because the trail was just on the other side of a stand of baby trees, and I decided to go straight through, and I regretted it. They were all filled with pollen, so I was breathing in this yellow dust the whole time. Trying to steal the gear off my back. And of course there was down trees in between them, making it even harder. Yeah, won't be doing that again anytime soon. Look how many trails I have to choose from. This wasn't on the map. Sure hope I'm on the right one. Uh-oh, there's a fork in the road. I'm gonna go with right. Finally, a cloud got between me and the sun. He was cooking me. Wanted to stop to put my hand on, but I'm close to the water that was in 5 miles. So I was like, man, I'll hold out for there. Ooh, whole group of humans and ants. What are they all staring at? They were looking at what they believed to be an elk on the other hill. I was like, well, it's a dot, brown dot moving around. We're pretty sure it's an elk. Like, it sure is. And then they asked me what's better, tent or hammock. And of course I said hammock. And some of them were like, see, told ya. Yeah, I guess it's been a matter of debate for a while. So I explained my hammock setup real quick. It's like, I got the best of both worlds. I got a hammock inside of a tent. Man, I don't have condensation issues, no nothing. It is really the way to go. I should look into, they have these magical, it looks like a trekking pole that you can hang your hammock off of. It doesn't dig into the ground or anything. It just uses some trick of physics to keep it balanced in place while you're hanging off the edge of it. So that way you only have to find one tie-off point, which I would really increase my odds of finding a good place to sleep if I only had to find one tree. And I could just put out my little stick thing and hang from that. I'll have to look into those, see if they're actually viable. I've seen people do reviews on them, but I can't remember if they were really into them or not. You know, depending on how much it weighs and all that. But essentially it looked like a trekking pole with a bunch of strings coming out of it. here's where we're going to take a break, collect some water, and figure out how much further we're going to go today. What time is it? It's only 2:30, so we still got a few hours walking. Scout something out ahead while my water is a filtering. Hang out on the beach right down there. Yeah, what a good day, huh? I wanted a spot to hang that looks cool but not real comfortable. I could do it off the rafters on these bridges, but I do not want to camp here. While I like the sound of water, I don't like camping near it. Its condensation gets on me, and it's colder near water. But I do like the sound as I'm going to sleep, so there's that. Okay, let's take a break. So they don't actually have gut hook or anything or far out. They're just out here wandering, they said. They're like, hey, do you know of any campsites around here? And I was like, well, you know, you got the apps? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, you can fart around on mine if you want to look for some. I was like, I'll show you how it works. I'm like, nah, we'll just wander. We'll find something. I'm like, okay, good luck. I mean, they'll find something. You always do. I've managed to sleep every single night I've been out here. But now I do have competition for spots. That's a lot of competition, too. And look at all that. Look at that head count. I was wondering why they stood at the top of the hill and looked around. Huge area that would fit them all. And they said they were done with their day. But they passed this up. You're not going to find room for that many kids. I mean, I'm assuming they each have their own tent, but that's just an assumption. It's actually a chore to find a place just for me. Couldn't imagine. We got, what was that, like 8 or 10 others? I don't have the responsibility to lead a group, though. Lots of good flowing water around here. Still got some flowers hanging on. Okay, don't slip on the rocks, man. Hey, dry feet, yay. Don't eat those blueberries. Why does nature like to do that? They trick you with things that look identical, but one will really fuck you up. For every tasty mushroom, there's something that looks exactly like it that will just wreck your world. Berries seem to have a similar thing. Except for like raspberries. If it looks like a raspberry, it's edible. Clear, cool, and refreshing. That water does look pretty nice. I'd say it wasn't super cold, but I only put my fingers in it to get water. You find out really the true temperature of water once your junk hits it. Like that's how you know it's cold or not, by your reaction. It looks like a good swimming hole down there. I see great swimming holes all the time, but how many times have you guys actually seen me swim? I bet it's been 5 times tops. Did I ever mention I'm scared of water? True story. Beautiful flow, if I do say so myself. And technically I shouldn't have filtered water until here or the next one, but I needed a break. And then I figured I'd carry because this is about the time of day when some sort of storm rolls in, and I just want to find a place to camp. I mean, it's still early. It's just before 4 o'clock. But quite often I do like start settling down around that time. Got a rather late start today, so I might hike a little later. And I'd rather start waking up at like 5 than 3. You know, just out of habit. I don't like to do alarms. I like to just wake up. But if you're going to have an alarm, have it play like a soothing song. I got mine set to the Overworld tune from Final Fantasy IV. Really dig that tune. It's mellow. Makes me happy. It's good to wake up to. It has been a pretty beautiful day. Even with that waiting on the side of the road for like 2 hours. Should have brought a tall boy with me, but you know, I wasn't thinking ahead. I like it when it gets up under my hat and cools my ears off and everything. Good stuff. It's like extra humid today or something. I can feel sweat dripping off the back of my hair down onto my neck. Maybe it's coming off the hat. I don't know. One of the two. Point is, I'm dripping. Oh, and I passed that whole group like 2 miles ago. They had split up, sent a few to scout ahead while they were in a decent-sized pasture. And, you know, I looked at the maps and saw that we were going up on the sides of hills and such. So I told them, I was like, no, this is your best option. Just, you know, chill here. And then, you know, ran into the ones that were scouting, and they didn't see anything ahead except, you know, sides of mountains. So I probably won't be seeing them again. I didn't ask them, like, you know, like how far had they come today. But I have to assume with a bunch of kids, you know, you're doing 5 to 8 miles a day, maybe. I bet somewhere in the 5-ish range. But I don't know where they started. I don't know how many days they've been out here. I do know that they're all sharing 3 tents. I was curious about that, so I did ask. Do y'all got your own setups? I'm like, nope, 3 tents. I was like, ugh. I mean, they're kids, so they're having fun in there and whatnot. I get it. Boys' tent, girls' tent, and the adults' tent. Yeah, it makes sense. It looks like it could be a really nice campsite down there. It's hard to tell if the trees are, properly aligned for me from up here. And I don't want to go through all that garbage to get there because realize it's like a 10-minute walk through all this garbage. So if there's a trail leading down there, I would definitely follow it. But if there's not, then we'll never know if that's a... I can see what appears to be a fire ring. Humans have moved stones. Yeah, that's a fire ring. But I'm not bushwhacking. No siree, Bob. Nope, and there's no trail. I'll find another spot. Maybe not a better spot, but a spot. Oh, I stopped and lost my momentum. And the backpack got heavy all of a sudden. Oh, good, maybe we're getting into bigger trees over here. I'm in the mood to throw down camp. Not desperate by any means, but I'm ready. When one comes along, I will take it. I spy with my little eye something that looks like a campsite. Those pieces of wood are not stacked naturally. And there's not a bunch of dead stuff in the way. I am on a hill. So, I got to expend the energy to climb down there and back up because I don't see a trail. Yeah. Let's go down there. Once you're down here a little bit, there's a trail. That's the only dead thing in this that I've had to climb. Other than that, it was just doing the hill. Not a huge hill by any means. This looks like a great spot off the beaten path and whatnot. See, unfortunate for that family, they didn't have more stamina. They could have came here where it's lush and green and you got big trees. And you get to hang out with crawler. I mean, fuck, it's good for the kids. With some hair on their chests. Oh, there's tons of camping down here, man. Tons. Oh, is this the trail? That'd be funny if it was. Nah. Okay, so there is a trail here. If I'd have kept walking, it'd have connected. I got excited. I was like, oh, campsite. I'm going down there. Hey, these are the pieces of wood I saw. You are not stacked naturally. And that caught my eye. Oh, there's a freaking trail that leads right here. Let me see where the trail is from here so when I leave in the morning, I'm not confused. Today for dinner, we are taking it easy. We're going for a bag of chicken and the good ramen with the liquid pouch. Yeah, that's the good stuff. I'm actually cooking away from camp for a change. Look at me. Other than that, I'm not following the rules very well because my bear bag is literally hanging on that dead log right there. You can't see it because I have it wedged up on top. It's that black shape right there. But yeah, it's just on that log that's leaning. Alright, well, where else am I putting it? Point out a great branch for hanging a bear bag from. Yeah, you can't. Because there aren't any. So I'm just mostly trying to keep it up off the ground and a little bit away from me. Doing what little I can, but yeah, I should be doing more. When I'm being eaten by a grizzly, I'll really regret having my food near me. But I don't have it in the tent with me, so yeah, we're improving. So yeah, that's my idea of a bear hang. It's off the ground. I had to stand on that log to reach it. You know, it's pretty high up. It's probably like 7 feet in the air. And not a good distance from me, but I don't know where else to hang it. I hung my coffee cup way over here and my garbage inside of it. There we go. That's the distraction way over there. That smells better than anything over here. I forgot to check the weather while I was in town. But I can hear a whole lot of activity coming from this direction. And now looking at it, that's rain right there. You can hear a little bit right there. That's rain right there. Up here's rain. Back there is a shit ton of rain. And this is a big old log jam. Humans. This spot's kind of hidden from the trail. Kinda. I've watched like 6 people walk by so far. I'm in a bubble. I hear like 3 more, it sounds like. Maybe more. It's a whole group of people, and I invited them down because they were all up there milling about. I could tell they wanted to camp somewhere, but they don't see this. This is invisible to the average human. But there's a lot of thunder going on. I'd want somebody to yell out. So, I don't want to camp. Oh my God, it's a whole troop of them. Yeah, it is. There's a whole fucking troop. There's like 8 or 9 of them. So, good times. And more are coming in. I mean, they're everywhere. They're all the way back in there. Oh, I'm such a nice guy. I'm such a nice guy. I could have let them keep walking, but they're going to leave me alone over here. I've explained to them I'm a crotchety old man who wakes up really early. I told them they could sleep near me if they were desperate, but if they snore, I would murder one. I like to keep it real. I'm a crazy dude in the woods. You don't know me. I'm nice. I've extended a hand, but at the same time, don't fuck with me. You know if you snore. You know. But as much as I dislike people, and especially children, I'm not sending anybody out into this. Can you hear that? Even I'm not that big of an asshole. But look at them. They're everywhere. It's exciting, isn't it? I gave them a 5-minute warning about 5 minutes ago. Oh yeah, it's sprinkling out here. Like, just by listening, some of them have never set up their gear. Kid over here, he's got no tarp. He's just in a hammock. He's just laying there. I'm like, do you realize what's coming? Another kid over there has a hammock just swinging in the wind, no tarp. And I thought maybe they're going to get around to setting it up, but no, they're doing other things. But I was like, hey man, good 5-minute warning. It's going to start raining. And they all looked at me like I was crazy. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, I was off by about 5 minutes, but still, it's raining. At least a heavy sprinkle. More than I would want touching my gear. I pulled everything in tight because it keeps getting like really windy for a little bit. It's actually quite calm right now. But I like to tuck my thing over because sometimes the wind blows mud in and whatnot. You never know. Just precautions. I've suffered before and I'm trying to avoid it in the future. All right, let's see what everything looks like when we wake up in the morning, huh? Good night. Again, reels are reels this time.